Hey everybody, Hobo4Craft, aka Mr. Hobo, bringing you a StarCraft 2 shoutcast. Today we're going to have a solid matchup. That's going to be EGDemuslim, the British Terran who's living in America in the EG house. One of my favorite players and characters. And we have MVPTails on the bottom of Antigua Shipyard. He will be the Red Protoss, a Korean player. And when I said characters, I didn't mean like an MMO character. I meant like type of personality. I didn't want anybody to get confused there. I'm not insulting your guys' intelligence, of course, but that came off kind of random. So in the top, Demuslim is going to be going for that wall off. My guess is that we're probably going to be seeing fast expansion from both of these players. My prediction is probably a 1 gate expand from Tails, and we could see, we'll probably see the barracks go down right here, and then Demuslim will just transition into the command center. Antigua Shipyard is a pretty large map, and obviously you don't know where your opponent is going to spawn, so add those two things together and you're pretty safe to expand first, even without scouting, though it's not the smartest thing. We can see Demuslim is going around the map. He's trying to see if there's any proxies going on. He's really good about scouting. If you watch his stream, which is actually really entertaining, then you know he's just a very safe player in general. Pretty conservative, but he does have a lot of cheese and tactics that he can incorporate into his play. And Tails actually isn't going to go for that really fast expand. We see a gate go down, and then we have that assimilator following it up. So, you know, about a 17 assimilator in normal timing, and that's going to be finishing just now. Demuslim, on the other hand, just now finishing his barracks, getting that marine up, and we don't see any gas. We can just assume that he's probably going to be going for that expansion. Yeah, here's that SCV, and Demuslim does scout cross positions first. He sees a Zealot getting chrono boosted, and that should tip him off to something. And we do have the Cyber Core. It's just about 80% done here. We have Tails coming out with a probe. He might be faking an expansion, or he might be wanting to throw down an expansion after this Zealot pressure, because you know, a Terran opening with this one barracks and then expansion is so common these days that just going for the Zealot and a chrono boosted Zealot partner is not it's not over the top, but when your cross positions on Antigua Shipyard, as we can see, the Terran can get defense up quickly enough. But if Tails were to run by, I wonder if he would be able to do any damage. I don't think so, because you could just unload the bunker and follow that, and the Zealot would probably die pretty quickly with some kiting, so not worth it. In my opinion, these Zealots were kind of wasted. This might work on a map that's only 2-player, but most maps in the map pool are kind of large now, so I don't know where this would work. I'm trying to think of a map, but I really can't. The expansion is about 60% done for Tails, while Muslims is up and running. He's about to get an orbital command. It's nearing 40% completion, and he already has a mule down there as well. So his infrastructure is just about to pick up. We have 1 tech lab, 1 reactor. He's not wasting any time building more marines. He absolutely does not need it. He has this bunker down. I'm not sure if he would have had it down if he had not seen a chrono boosted gateway, but either way, it's not too much of an investment. There's still salvage, so it's not that big of a deal, but it is a nice defense and added comfort, and it allows him to do things such as occupy both of his barracks for add-ons. Now we do have 3 gates right now. Tails was kind of in an awkward transition period. He had a not so successful harass, which kind of delayed him getting more more gateways, and also delayed him getting his nexus down. So now he's just going to add some pressure. He does have a forward pylon. I'm not sure what he really wants from this, but maybe he just figured DeMuslim wouldn't be adding too much defense, and he's kind of right. This other barracks is not going to finish. DeMuslim needs to finish this. There's going to be a lot of pressure here. Oh, when it does finish, he's going to be able to repair it a lot. There go down 2 force fields. That's going to block out most of the SCVs, and he does unload that bugger, getting most of his units to safety. But we have a lot of stalkers. We have about 8 right now. They're able to pick off SCVs in one volley. Those Marines are going to fall in the same manner if they do get hit by all of those. We're going to need a focus fire down the sentry. That's not that much DPS, but it's something easy to pick off. And he's going to lift off for right now. So right now what Tails is trying to do is just equal out how far behind he was in getting his expo up. And we can see that he's actually skyrocketing ahead as far as harvester count goes. And Muslim is in a tricky spot right now. This weird 3 warp gate timing push actually turned out to be pretty strong. I don't know if I would call it a timing push even. He didn't have any upgrades, or, you know, it seemed kind of arbitrary to me, but right now it's working out. This forward supply depot is going to fall. That's kind of an odd position for it. And now DeMuslim is supply blocked. He is really falling quite far behind. The only thing he has in his favor is tech, though he can't put much use to it as of right now. I would have liked Tails to stay a little longer. DeMuslim's Bioforce is getting bigger, but he doesn't have concussive shells yet even. Though I guess there's no way Tails could know this. It would be playing with fire a little bit. But if he had a couple more sentries, I think he would have been comfortable to stay and keep the pressure on. That being said, he's still way far ahead, as we can see. 13 harvesters. That was quite the swing in favor of who's kind of leading this game. Tails really took the lead with that slight aggression, and DeMuslim is just going to build up. Like, what else can he do besides maybe if he takes a third? That's the only way I can see him, or maybe a macro orbital trying to catch up. I think he just wants to push now. I wonder if he realizes how far behind he is. I think he would. On that income tab, he's not even going to try to catch up. I think he's pretty much, yeah, he's done making SCVs. He's gonna go for, you know, the end all push here, and it's going to be a nice timing. He's gonna have combat shields done and his first attack done as well. But he's gonna definitely want to hold off on that. Oh, why are you engaging? Your upgrades are just about to finish. He really needs to stall for time. Maybe get more medevacs. To be honest, his Bioforce really isn't that big. I don't know where all of his resources has just drained to. He had a good start. He got his expo up early, but after that he just seemed to stall out. Maybe he fell behind on his macro. I'm not really sure. There goes one medevac picked off. And we might get engaged soon. On top of the battle square. Will DeMuslim engage? He's just trying to pick off. Trying to bait force fields. Did a nice job of getting one there. The loneliest force field you'll ever see. Didn't really do much. But these medevacs are pretty much drained of energy already. He needs to stop stimming so haphazardly. Normally DeMuslim's pretty good about that. He just added on more barracks, and he is starting to add on harvesters too, and another refinery. He's going very marauder heavy style, which is what you need when you have so many warp gates, but you run the risk of, yeah, we're gonna see charge. You run the risk of getting a ton of zealots dumped on you, a bunch of charge lots when you go for a 2 marauder heavy style. You know, Storm isn't as effective, but these zealots are just so powerful, and you really need to watch out for that. And there's not much you can do to counter it except get your marine count up, or, you know, have a lot of upgrades, because marines do great DPS against zealots. Oh, this is my fault. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna ignore it. But Tails is looking to be in a pretty good spot. He does have a lot of force fields. He does have enough for Guardian Shield for sure. DeMuslim just straight up, I don't think he has enough. Like, you can see their army value is just about the same, and when that happens, Protoss almost 100% of the time wins, just because of their more cost efficiency. Though we do have a pretty high medevac count. We can see all these charge lots that I was talking about, and Tails is really going to want to engage at this choke, and DeMuslim is really not going to want to engage at this choke. And it looks like he's just going to go right for it. Do we have any force fields? He needs to cut off this army, or else he's just going to get kited. These charge lots are coming in. They're trying to attack, but they're just getting baited down. All of these medevacs, however, are getting focused very well by Tails. There's only one remaining out of the 6. And now DeMuslim's just going to go right for it. And then kite some more. He's so low because of all the stim he's used. I think these stalkers alone could pick off the rest of the army. Yep, and it's not looking good for DeMuslim. He is ahead in food, but I don't know why that is. Yeah, he's going to get cleaned up pretty easily here. And he's just going to try and kite it, which is the smartest thing to do, get the most out of your units. But actually the Marauder count is pretty high, so those stalkers are going to back out. So DeMuslim has a small victory in retreating, I guess. But in the meantime, we can see that we do have that Templar archives down, and we are transitioning into Archons. In the meantime, Tails put down his 3rd. That's the smartest thing to do. And DeMuslim might have kind of equalized that pressure that he received earlier. The army value is just about even. Those opponent is going to have his 3rd up and ready more quickly than he does, with a nice harvester lead. I mean, DeMuslim's his 3rd isn't too far behind, but it's still going to be pretty far behind. The only thing that he can really rely on right now is mules to kind of help save him. You can see he is ahead in minerals right now, but once this 3rd is up and running for Tails, he'll be doing just fine. This Archon count gets really high. It's going to be super scary with these Immortals and Zealot. Actually, this is a pretty costly army composition, but it's a really effective use of gas. These Archons and these Immortals really drain gas quite well, and Stalkers are not good against late game bio. So I really like the army composition that Tails is going for. You can see all the gas he's investing right here, and he can do that. He can definitely do that now that he has 6 gases saturated. Very smart transition. A different take than that Colossus bio ball that so many Protoss love to use. And Tails does have that forward pylon. It's been pretty good about getting that down. I think he scouted this. Yeah, he's going to be able to pick this off, and he does have Blink. Hopefully DeMuslim is paying attention. No, he's not. But great reaction time. He was able to drop 1 Marine, but that's not much. I think this... what is this? Oh, this pylon that's about to be built? I guess his observer saw it. But he is going to get another forward pylon. And this is the most common spot when Protoss is playing against any race. So always have a scout around this area, especially if you're Zerg, because most definitely there would be a forward pylon put down there. So Tails isn't really adding much more infrastructure. If I were him, I'd be adding like 1 or 2 more gates just to be able to replenish my army, but I guess he's just going for it all. He has a lot of Archons, and he has those 2 Immortals, which are going to just decimate Marauders, and it's going to be pretty close. DeMuslim has a ton of bio. He's 1-1, but Tails is 2-2. Does he have... Yeah, okay, DeMuslim is just about to be 2-2, but MVPTails is actually waiting for 3-3, so he's going to have the upgrade advantage. There are a lot of bunkers here, so I don't know if I would engage. That's pretty risky. That's a lot of time just cracking them down, and it just makes the area more choked, which is great for DeMuslim. We had some Zealots run up, and now he's caught DeMuslim off guard. He's not in the position he wants to be in, but Tails doesn't want to engage. I think not going for Colossi now, he might be regretting it, because there's a very heavy Marine count, and Marines are great against Immortals. and Archons and everything else in StarCraft 2 when they are upgraded. So, you know, oh, we do have a blink into the main. The rest of his army is going to have to back away. This is really risky. EGDemuslim is stimming up and he's going right forward. We do have two beautiful storms getting everything. And that Carpet of Storm did a ton of damage, but EGDemuslim has too much. And Tails was split up and he was caught off guard. Just a really awkward situation. He's going to need to warp in some High Templar. That's the only way he can get back into this game, I think. Just a massive difference in army size right now. If he can get beautiful storms down, I don't see any other way that Tails can come back from this massive swing in the game lead. Yeah, EGDemuslim's going up into the third. Another nice storm. We do have ghosts out now. They're going to be starting to snipe. Actually, you have 9 ghosts out. Wow, when did that happen? This third's definitely going down, and if Tails can't... actually, Tails has been destroying the main of EGDemuslim this whole time. So, production for EGDemuslim is pretty much kaput. If Tails can hold this off somehow, nice storms, very nice storms, then he may be able to stay in the game, but it's going to be pretty close. It looks like he's sandwiching EGDemuslim. We do have an EMP going down on all these stalkers, but I think EGDemuslim is actually getting surrounded. All the probes are coming in, and yeah, EGDemuslim is definitely going to get cleaned up. The medevacs are trying to carry away these ghosts, but they get taken down. The blink stalkers following them, and the ghost might even go down. Oh, EGDemuslim, you should get out of here. He wasn't chasing you. Oh, he's just gonna try and snipe some things. I don't think Tails realizes that he can just go clean that up. And amazingly, Tails actually held that. I did not expect that to happen, and I don't think EGDemuslim can come back from this. He had a Zealot destroying all the workers. There are only about 12 in total left for him. There's still blink stalkers in the main. He has a really high, you know, army value count for considering what just happened. EGDemuslim does have a lot of medevacs though, which will come in handy. He does have mules, but I don't know if that will be enough. Oh, this probe just missed blocking this orbital command. He's probably just gonna land some mules here. I mean, this game could still go either way, I guess, but Tails is looking so strong right now. You know, we saw how level-headed he was. He made the perfect decisions in the midst of all that chaos. I mean, a huge bioball was headed toward him, and he just blinked stalkers up into the main. Luckily for him, EGDemuslim didn't just, you know, cut back after destroying the army in the middle. You know, finish off those stalkers and then go. I think he would have been fine if he had done that, but it's really hard to make those calls when you're not the observer. He's adding on more barracks right now, which is actually kind of surprising. I would be thinking he'd just be focusing on getting his economy up and running again. But I guess he does have mules. He's sitting pretty well as far as mining goes, but Tails is going to catch back up. He's saturating this third. It just finished. And I think Tails is making a huge mistake by not having counter-aggressed. And he's really just letting EGDemuslim come back into the game. If he had attacked right after he fended off that huge push, I think he would have been fine. But now it's the more time he lets EGDemuslim just do whatever he wants, the more time, the more difficulty he's going to have in destroying this army. Though it's mostly Marine, so some really good storms would be game over. And purely Marine is all that EGDemuslim can really do right now, given his economy, which is 2 bases. Actually, just this 1 base. I don't know how he has so much production with just this 1 base. But EGDemuslim, he knows he's pretty far behind, and more time means more units for Tails. He's just gonna push in. Ooh, he got Oh, one storm just nicked him, but he got some nice snipes going. Oh, that was a very nice storm. Ran right into it. Wasn't able to... And he actually stormed a ghost. Pretty nice. He doesn't have an observer back here. And the medevacs have enough energy that EGDemuslim can actually just heal up. But overall, I think that was a nice, some nice micro by Tails. He was able to keep that off, and because of that, he's going to have 1 or 2 Colossi out. There's 1, 2, and he has another one being produced. Does he have 2 Robos? Yeah, he does have double Robo. And that'll definitely be game over. EGDemuslim cannot win when there are 2 Colossi, about to be 3, and Storms. Sacrificing all those Marines for just 1 High Templar is not worth it, especially when he has this few Marines. More Storms. EGDemuslim can't get the positioning that he wants, and he's just going to get laid to waste. And it's pretty much just a click right here for MVPTails. And EGDemuslim calls good game, which it very much was. I think there were a lot of swings in who was leading in that game, which, you know, really adds to how interesting it was, and a lot of complex decision making. In the end, I think MVPTails just did everything just about perfect except for that early game, and because of that, he was able to take the win. So very well played by both players. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hobo4Craft signing out.